Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Dangerous development, dangerous for the countries that are pushing for this development. The problem is, these countries that are having a big mouth, they hide behind the United States of America. So they call everybody, hey, let's go and attack Gigi, but Gigi would kick our butt if Gigi is attacked by us. But we say, hey, everybody, we hope that Mikey, which is the toughest guy here, would join us. But we are the ones who are the instigators. Let's beat Gigi, but we together, we cannot beat Gigi. We're afraid, we're shitless. But we ask maybe Mike is going to join. That's the whole thing here. The problem is they would not do it on their own. What do I talk about here? Is about these countries, which is Poland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia, and I would add Lithuania, call for security guarantees for Ukraine even before NATO membership. You know what security guarantees means for Ukraine? Well, I'm pretty sure you know, but I'm going to tell you what I think it means. It means that if Russia continues to unprovokedly attack and destroy Ukraine, these countries will attack Russia. They will somehow guarantee the security of Ukraine. That means Ukraine cannot be attacked or its territory be taken by Russia in this case, or by anybody else, if you know what I mean. So this is what it is. That means if Poland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia plus Lithuania, I made a video yesterday on their president who said that we should cross all the red lines. We, and the key word was we. Who's we? You? The Lithuanians, or we as Mikey and everybody else, you know what I mean? Yes, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. So these guys are calling for it, but they will not do it. Unless the United States comes in, nobody will provide security guarantees for Ukraine, real security guarantees for Ukraine. Now, why this is dangerous? It's dangerous for many reasons. Let's say these countries decide to really have balls and provide security guarantees to Ukraine. All right, that means they have to act. How are they going to act? That means they're going to intervene militarily to support, like, direct attack on the Russians, the invaders. Now, what do you think will happen? I mean, this will turn into a world war right there, as it turned when Great Britain declared war on Germany. Because until then, it was Germany versus Poland. Remember, 1st of September 1939? It was one country versus one. That was not a world war. So when you hear people telling you, when it was the start of the Second World War, well, it was not on September 1st, 1939, because it was not the World War at that time. It was one country against one country out of tens of other countries. So there was just one-on-one. It became a little bit bigger when Great Britain declared war on Nazi Germany, and then France, Weasels, after about 48 hours, if I remember correctly, they said, because the Brits were saying, you gotta declare war, you gotta remember, we gave Poland guarantees. Sounds familiar? We gave them guarantees. Okay. So then the French got in. So then it was 3-1. All right? Before it was 1-1. So 3-1 is a little bit more, you know what I mean? And then you had the Soviets who invaded from the other side. But hey, those beautiful countries that provided Poland with security guarantees did not provide them with security guarantees somehow against Soviet Union. So they didn't declare war on Soviet Union, which they should have. Why? Because they are the defenders of Polish territory. But that's a different conversation. For people who know what I'm talking about, they know what I'm talking about. Okay, why and all that. Look who were riding high in Soviet Union at that time. Okay, and then maybe that could be one reason why. Because remember, Soviet Union was a communist country. Great Britain was a capitalist country. Nazi Germany was not a communist country, it was closer to the capitalist country. Nevertheless, they attacked. But the other guys did the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is Germany was, however we want to call it, economically and not only like a culture and many other reasons, closer to the French and the Germans than they were the Soviets. Nevertheless, and the Soviets did something that the Germans did. But no, they were not the enemies. Eventually they were the allies with the criminal Stalin and his bunch. You can't make shit up, my friends. So ask yourselves why. Anyway, let's go back here. So if these guys provide guarantees to Ukraine, what do you think is going to happen? 1st of September, we're already there. So what's going to happen? France and Great Britain? It's dangerous. It's dangerous. And that's why I said, must be stopped. Go and talk about it like you were supposed to talk before the 24th of February 2022. But hey, we got to this one. And what would the security guarantees mean? Well, it's going to be a no-flight zone. There's going to be a line over there that if the Russians cross that, then we're going to intervene militarily. I guarantee you the Russians will not have patience with these countries, especially with Poland and the Baltic states. With Czech Republic and Slovakia, that could be turned around, they can wash their hands with them. But with the Poles, I don't think so. I don't think so, because the Poles already crossed the Rubicon a long time ago. And they know it. That's why they're arming themselves. What do you think? And even if they arm themselves without the support of Mikey, they're going to be done. But hey, they can do this. They're independent countries. The problem is actions have consequences. Yes. We can say the Russians' invasion of Ukraine, actions, now these are the consequences. Well, okay, if you kill Russians in Ukraine, actions have consequences. Oh, if you overthrow a legitimate democratically elected government of Ukraine in 2014, actions have consequences. Well, if you stick your nose and you do certain things in Europe militarily and you expand and bring your infrastructure, military infrastructure, close to someone, actions have consequences. So you know what I mean? If you go and you get all this into consideration and more, that I don't have time to go into right now, you're going to realize that someone was really pushing things and the other one was warning. Now, if you say, well, so what? That's our right to do this. Yeah, that's fine. But if it's your right, that means it's their right as well. So when they will deploy or do the same thing in, let's say, Guatemala or Honduras or Cuba or Venezuela, will do the same thing. I want to see how you will come and say, well, that's their right. What do you want? If the country decided, no, because at that time it's going to be switching the whole thing to they are bad and we are good. We can do it. They can't do it. But why are we good again? Are we better? So far, we still can, do certain things that Europe cannot do. Like, for instance, have access to certain things that those guys have a hard time. So far, we're not jailed if we denied certain things. You know what I mean? But it's coming here. Still, we can carry things, but not for long. So we get to Europe's level. And why do I use Europe? Because Europe is not a free and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and what's strange is that when the Americans, helped Germany and Japan write their constitutions, they didn't give them, freedom of speech in their constitution and the way that we have it, and the right to bear and own and whatever arms, if you know what I mean. I wonder why. If our constitution is so fantastic, why didn't you put in their constitution the same thing? Yeah, you know exactly why. If you don't know, well, put things together. It's not that hard to connect the dots, okay? So, anyway, these guys, the Weasel countries, because they're small countries. I mean, look at them. Poland is not a small country, Poland. But Czech Republic and Slovakia and Lithuania. NATO should outline a clear path to Ukraine's membership when the appropriate conditions are met. Yes, and that is when, if Russia is nilled. Otherwise, they will say, no, you can't have it by your own policy, NATO. You can't have Ukraine be a member under your policies. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to do this. They're going to use weasel tactics. They're going to use euphemisms. They will do things outside of NATO that are actually NATO. So you're not going to be you're going to give you all the rights, but NATO membership. So you're not going to be how should I put it? We're not married, but we are living together. We are together. We have everything together, but we're not married with a paper. You know what I mean? But then everything, inheritance together, insurances together, we make it that everything, the only thing is, no, they're not married, but everything is as it is. You know what I mean? The same here. No, he's not a member state, but it will have all the perks as a state member, NATO member state. You'll see. They already do this with Sweden. And they will bypass Hungary and Turkey. That's the way it happens in your company as well. Look at the boss. Look at the, director, CEO, whatever you have, owner. Everything is possible. if that person decides so. If he or she says, you know what, oh yeah, this is the policy, but we make an exception, a waiver, that's going to happen. Same here. They're going to make a lot of waivers here. All right. So then it makes you wonder, why should I follow the policy if you just, bypassed it like this? And the short answer is because he can, because they can. What are you going to do about it? Now go to work, pay your taxes, shut up, drink your beer, and watch a stupid show, The View. All right? Go. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.